it's Christine, and today I'm going to share with you how to write a joke. Some of you know that I do comedy, and not all of you think I'm funny, and that's okay. But I do know one important thing about comedy that I can teach you, and that is joke structure. Before I get to that though, I do want to remind you, please hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and if you like this video, give that a thumbs up, share it out to your friends, especially your friends who need to know how to write a joke. So let's begin. The joke structure is pretty simple. We're gonna go with basic joke structure, and a lot of people think, oh, I just talk and tell a story and it's funny and that's a joke. Sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, comedy doesn't have, I guess, rules, but it kind of does. So the reason that a joke works is that you're setting up an expectation and you break the expectation. That is right there, very simply, the basic joke structure. So it looks like this. You have a setup and an expectation. But what you need to do is you need to break that expectation. And that is actually what is your, my writing is horrible, here we go, your punchline. Ooh! Do you guys like my highfalutin graphics? Yes. All right, but this really is your basic joke structure. So it is a setup, like, let's use the very old take my wife joke, for example. It's very clearly set up in the joke structure. So take my wife. People used to say, like, I don't know if people say it so much anymore. A lot of you are watching are like, I don't know what that means. But it'll be like, oh, take my wife, for example. Or take my husband, for example. Or, you know, take Logan Paul, for example. Or whatever. Like, so you're saying the phrase, take that, and everyone knows that it's followed by, for example. So take my wife is the setup. For example is the expectation. But the reason that it is a funny joke, or is a joke, funny is relative, but the reason that it is a joke is because you break that expectation of, for example, and you change it to please. So the joke is, take my wife, please. All right, like I said, it may not be the funniest thing you've ever heard, but it is a very good example of the structure. So take my wife, setup, for example, expectation, crush that expectation with changing it to please. That's really all there is to writing a joke. So once you think of your premise or what it is you want to talk about, maybe it's, you know, losing weight or flying on airplanes, or maybe something not hack, like, I don't know, anything that's not losing weight or flying on airplanes or traffic. Not that I don't do comedy about those things. Not saying I don't do comedy about those things, but they're a little overdone. So you think of your premise. Maybe you are a high schooler and you want to talk about high school. So you think of like, oh, math class. And you find something that is a pretty standard expectation for math class. And you write your setup and your expectation. So your full out sentence idea. Then you cut your expectation off, and you figure out what are the different things that could be something funny that breaks that expectation, and you make a list of those things. And then you go, which one do you think is the funniest? And you use that and you go, okay, great. So I've got my setup, I've got my punchline, try it on your friends and say, hey, is that funny? And if they don't laugh and they're like, yeah, that's funny, probably isn't that funny. Try to get them to laugh. And then if that punchline doesn't work, try your other punchlines. Keep trying till you find the one that works. Once you get your setup and your punchline, take my wife, please, then you can always add on a tag. And a tag is a little bit more elaborate than just your basic joke structure. But that is when you hear a comedian say the joke, and then they keep saying other little like jokes off of that first joke. That's called a tag. So that's your basic joke structure. I would love to know what kind of premises you guys think are funny. I don't want you to give away your jokes in the comments because I won't be able to steal them from you. If you've written them, you put all that time and effort into making them very funny, then don't write them in my comment section because someone will just rip that joke right off. Comedians are known for that. Don't do that. Don't steal jokes. But I would love to know what kind of premises you guys think are funny. Like, clearly traffic is overdone. So is travel and weight loss. I mean, like I said, I still talk about those things. If they're personal to you, it's okay to talk about them, but find your own spin on them. Don't do the same thing everybody else does. Don't do the take my wife please joke. It's very old and overdone. But what kind of things do you think is fun to talk about or funny when comedians talk about them or that you talk about in your comedy show? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it out to your friends who want to learn more about joke structure and joke telling, and tune in for more. I will be doing more how-to videos here on my channel along with my ventriloquist videos. Thanks for watching. Go be a light in the world.